Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and today we're going to talk about more indie games once again. As I said before, I want to be able to provide some solutions and alternatives rather than always talking about the problems that's going on within the gaming industry as a whole. And today we're going to cover an indie project or an indie game that really has my eyes open and excited and curious. And the name of this project is called Aikode. I believe that I'm pronouncing it right. So before we even dive into this, because there's an interesting story behind this when it comes to becoming an independent developer or just going into the indie space, no matter what industry that you're stepping into. And this is a lesson that hopefully you guys learn from it. So before we even dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. So if you want to dive into this article, it comes from Game 8. They have covered this game and gave their opinions on it, and the name of the game is called Aikode. And they pretty much give you a synopsis of the story and what can you expect so far in terms of its gameplay. And I've already seen tons of gameplay trailers to it. I seen it about a couple of months ago. I even follow Aikode's Twitter page as well to see these updates and what I've seen. And so far, I definitely see a lot of similarities of gameplay from Nier Automata, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. And the art style is just beautiful in the designs. And it's designed by one person, and we'll get into that as we go through the article. So, Aikode is an immersive action RPG where you play as Aiko and explore a world where everything is possible except finding the truth. And so it says, learn from our impressions. So it says, Aikode takes place in a realm known as Somnium, a world plagued by unending cycles of death. Players assume the role of Aiko, a young girl created by the Order. A chance encounter with a puppet sets Aiko on a path to defy the world's realm destiny, embarking on a journey that forces her to confront both her past and uncertain futures ahead. And like I said before, I love the designs of the characters, and I love the aesthetics and what they're going for. So it definitely has me curious. I get a bit of not just there, so also I guess you would say some Final Fantasy in there as well, or mostly like Final Fantasy 15. So that's another thing that really has me curious. So it says Aikode is an expansive action RPG game that will feature epic boss battles, as you see in the trailers as well, against colossal epic creatures and enemies, with 3 distinct weapon options: guns, swords, and scythes. Players can strategize and capitalize on each weapon's unique strengths one's masters. Explore a diverse array of landscapes, from cyberpunk cities to quaint steampunk towns and countrysides, and even meticulously recreated a Shibuya Tokyo. Travel by foot or motorcycle, or take to the skies with your wings, enjoying unparalleled freedom in the vast world. Yes, the environments. I think that's the thing that really caught my attention. When I'm scrolling through my Twitter page, I just saw how beautiful and how diverse a lot of these environments are, and I'm like, okay, what kind of game is this? And then once I saw the main protagonist and I started seeing the combat, I started definitely getting that Nier vibe, and then the music as well has definitely caught my attention. So it says, immerse yourself in the game's rich customization options. Tailor your character to your liking. Beyond combat, Aikode offers a second life experience, allowing players to engage in activities like home decorations, karaoke, and building relationships. The game introduces innovative butterfly rail systems, a data set capturing the unique characteristics of each individual. And that's what I'm also starting to see where we covered the last game, Runa, where we're starting to see a lot of these indie games, especially when it comes to action RPGs. They incorporate in a lot more customization, where you're allowed to be able to build relationships with your characters and also customize, I guess you say, and decorize the interiors to your base of operations, your home, or whatever like that. So it's neat to see a lot of those offerings in a lot of these upcoming action RPGs, or just indie RPGs in general. But there's something that I really want to talk about here, is because we get also a little bit of details behind the creator, an interesting backstory about the process, about being an independent developer, and how this person approached taking on such a, I guess you say, major project. And I definitely wanted to cover this as well. So in this, I really wanted to point out, and we're not gonna go through the whole thing, but I wanted you to just see some of the points that this person has made as being an independent developer, that also I want to discuss with you guys, you know, when it comes to wanting to take that leap of faith and actually go out and be an independent developer or independent artist yourself. It says that for the first question, let's dive right in. Well versed in what Aikode is, but we still have little information about its ingenious and brilliant creator. So who exactly is Ace? Why you like to tell us a bit more about yourself, your experiences, and your background as a solo video game developer. And this is what I found interesting. This person is taking on this task by themselves. So Ace answers the question. Well, as you said, I'm Ace. I'm 23 years old and 23 years old. 23 years old now. Well, there's not much to say about me, to be honest. A lot of people think I'm some kind of genius or something. I'm not. I just work a lot in the game. I have a lot of passion and also a big obsession for what I'm doing. That's the main reason why everything looks the way it looks right now. In terms of experience, I don't have a lot of it. I'm pretty new to the industry and I'm pretty young. And this is what I have to say. When it comes to being an independent, wanting to be independent, you don't have to have any background knowledge of everything. A lot of this stuff is self-taught because the person was curious and really wanted to know how things work and how things function, and decided to dabble into it to find out if this is something they want to do. And also, you have to have a passion for this. You have to be obsessed with what you're trying to do and what you're trying to create. This is the only way you're able to put that work and put that effort in. But let's move on. So I'm just a normal dude doing something I like in the end. So you just celebrated your 23rd birthday, and despite your youth, you've already gained considerable experience and honed impressive skills in the video game development. Looking back, could you share with us your initial foray into game development? So Ace has replied and said, I started working in things in terms of game development, just messing around and playing around with Unity. And that's how it always starts, guys. It, like me, I love to create, I love to design. And it started with me as a story writer. I like to create my own stories when I was young, back when I was in 5th grade. But I'm a person that loves to express my creativity, which is why my first creator tool was RPG Maker. I started out in the RPG Maker community because I love RPGs. I've grown up playing JRPGs, love it so much. So I used to create my own stories in my journals back at home and even in school. So when I have gotten that opportunity, when my father had discovered that there is a way for me to create RPGs, which was RPG Maker at the time on the PS1, my dad had bought it for me for my 8th grade graduation, and I have fell in love with the game, really enjoyed it, and I started working on those things. And that's why I love creative softwares like Mugen. That's why I've been so passionate about Mugen for so long, because I was able to express my ideas by creating my own, fighting games and creating my own stories using the Mugen engine. And that's why I'm also a 3D hentai animator, because like I said, I love to create. So that's why I even got into 3D animation when it comes to 3D hentai. I wanted to create my own erotic stories and apply voice acting and all this other type of stuff to it as well. I'm just passionate about it. And as you can see right here, Ace just dabbled in Unity. And this is back when he was 13 years old. So it started like putting the character in there, just walking around, simple things. Then I did some stuff in terms of RPGs. A super small RPG with RPG Maker. See, this person even started with RPG Maker as well. But nothing super giant, but pretty easy to use. I didn't have anything like what I'm doing now. I was just playing around with some things to do and trying to tell a smaller story and stuff. Then I started doing 3D stuff for 4 years. And that's when I started looking around and saying, maybe I could tell a story with this. I always had a passion for storytelling and have been writing stories for about 8 to 10 years. Sound just like me. So naturally I wanted to tell stories through these medias, but it was challenging. However, it wasn't until around 1 year ago, or a year or a few months ago, that I began seriously experimenting with world development, coding, and programming. That's how my journey began. Maybe like not a lot, but that's it. And that's the thing. It's all about your curiosity, and it's all about wanting to do something. And this person, Ace, was willing to, like, you know what? I want to dig in and find out how this works. I want to create something. I want to develop. So this person, Ace, had decided to take it upon themselves to learn coding and learn programming. And I also have to say this: none of this requires money. So you can't use this as an excuse. Well, I don't have the money. I don't have this. I don't have that. No, there's a lot of free development tools out there. There's a lot of ways you can learn these tools in order to be able to create the things that you want. So to move on, Aikode is your debut project, the ambitious video game that will mark your official entry into the gaming industry. Could you tell us how significant this journey began, and why did you choose to develop such a large-scale video game as a solo developer? Like I said, I started messing around with 3D stuff like 4 years ago. I started this project basically when I started doing 3D stuff, maybe 3 to 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, I started 3D stuff, and I started the first idea of the project and everything about it 3 years ago. Obviously, I didn't in terms of development, because you can count it as development, but in reality, it was just, I was just trying to have ideas and search for teams in pre-development stages, basically pre-production and all that. So then I started 1 year and some month ago, I don't remember exactly, when I posted the first video on X, the first gameplay video that was Aikode running in Shibuya. That's when I started the real development of the game. In terms of origin, like why I decided to do this instead of something more simple, actually this is more simple than what I had planned. See, that's the funny story, because Aikido in reality is something like I did to improve my skills and abilities to do something I really wanted to do. That's something like the actual game that I was writing 7 to 8 years ago. And that's the same thing. A lot of things for me, a lot of my stories and everything I write were like 7 to 8 years in the making. It's just now getting a hold of the technology or getting a hold of the software to actually put it all together. So this person already had everything mapped and planned out and wanted to use Aikido as a way to sharpen those skills to actually build the project or the game that they really want to build. But this ended up manifesting to something much more bigger. So Aikido is part of a saga, something that you can actually see on Steam. Like if you go and check Morphogenesis Saga, you'll find it's 3 games. Aikido is going to be like this, one of its sagas. In reality, when I started playing all this, I started writing the sequel because Aikido wasn't even a thing at the time. So I started doing that game, and then like 4 years ago, during that time, I was kind of merging when I started Aikido, and then 2 or 3 years ago, I started merging the 2 projects. And that's what you see right here with my Venus Orion comics and its characters. When it started out as one thing, and then I started just taking all these different ideas that I've written in the past and started merging them to create one idea. So this is all part of the creation process when trying to be a creative or be an independent writer, artist, game developer, you name it, or a movie director. It always starts out this way, and this is a great inspirational story right here. And it says, I was like, you know, this project is too ambitious. I need to do something less ambitious, and that something was Aikido. And he's saying this is less ambitious, but this looks amazing to be something less ambitious compared to what he really has planned moving forward. He said that seems kind of weird because Aikido kind of looks too ambitious and really big as a game, but in reality, if you compare the two, Aikido is something smaller compared to the original project. So yeah, so this is the thing right here that I just wanted to stop right here because it continues on to other things. But Aikido is a perfect example. See, I always stress here, and I always talk to you guys about when it comes to this whole culture war, and a lot of you guys are upset with the current state of gaming, and I definitely understand your plight. I understand your frustration and everything, and a lot of you guys want something to be done about it. You want the industry to go back to what it used to be, about the games, about storytelling, about character design, about the creative vision and everything. But in order for you to do that, in order for things to change, you also have to be proactive. What I mean by proactive, look for alternatives. The independent developers who are creating something that's unique, that's different, or creating something that you're looking for, and you support those developers, because that's the only way to combat this. And then, like I said before, the other solution is also to get up and create something your damn self. Do it yourself. And this is a perfect example at looking at Aikido or Aikode, is for the fact is that this is a one-person team. This is not a person. This is not a team of different developers, like an artist, a programmer, a music composer. No, this is one person, which means that there is no excuse why any of you in the comment sections can't or refuse to go out there and give it a shot and try something different. Now, I know a lot of you guys saying, you know, I don't really have enough time in the day. It's not about the time that you have or the time that you don't have. You utilize the time that you do have. You know, I don't care if it's 1 hour out of the day. You take that 1 hour of the day to actually research. If you're trying to get into game design or program or whatever it is you're trying to get into and become an independent, you take an hour of your time. Not even if you don't have an hour, take 30 minutes, 20 minutes of your time and just focus on that one thing. Research. Get to understand how certain engines work and how it functions. That's why there's no excuse. There's so many opportunities, and we live in a day and age of technology, information, social media. Even though social media is a virus on society, but it also has its benefits, because now you no longer have to rely on the mainstream. Now you can go and get access to so much information and teach yourself. You don't even have to go to a college to get a degree or anything of that sort, when now you can actually learn from your smart devices, from your computer, or whatever the case may be, in order to be able to create the vision that you have up in your head. And this is why reading stories like this motivates me even more. And I'm gonna keep stressing this and repeating this. This is why I started out as story writing and playing JRPGs, and look at me now. I started my comic book company, Venus Orion Comics, about 3 years ago, and now I'm officially about to launch my comic around, and the entire universe itself, around September when the campaign goes up, and I'm super excited. But the thing is, I took that chance and I took that leap of faith to go jump in and give it a try. And I'm saying this to you. That's why I believe that this video is important. Give it a try. Stop complaining. Stop being upset. Stop being frustrated, and actually talk the talk and walk the walk. You got to go out there and you have to do something about it. And this is what I wanted to do. And the thing is, I'm kind of glad that the industry is doing what it's doing right now, because I was sitting on all my stories, sitting on all my creativity, and all I did was rely on the mainstream. All I did was rely on the industry to give me the entertainment I want, while setting my dreams to the side and abandoning my dreams, you know. But now that the industry is going the way it's going, all it did was force me to go back and create, go back and to work on my stories and create the stories that I want to tell and share with the rest of the world. And this is an amazing journey. This is an amazing adventure. And listening to what Ace is saying during the interview, how it just started out as him just coming up with ideas for stories and multiple stories, and then how it eventually merged into one big story. And now that you look right now, this person had decided that, hey, I want to go out and dabble in a little bit of something. And now you got Aikode. Okay, yeah. Now you got Aikode. And I think this is a heartwarming story, and I'm looking to see where this is going to go. I'm definitely going to buy this game myself, because this is an inspiration to me. Even though I'm not a game designer, and eventually after I do my comics, I'm definitely wanting to get into, that's one of the major phases, get into starting my own independent game studio as well. And looking at this is just an inspiration. I love seeing independent creators create something and take a chance on themselves. And that's the message that I want to give to you guys. You have to take a chance in yourself. Believe in yourself, even when others don't believe in you. You have to take that risk. You have to. Stop worrying about what others think. Don't worry about failure. You have to give it a shot. Try it. You don't know where it may land you, but give it a try. But that pretty much wraps up this video. I definitely want to hear thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about Aikode action RPG? That looks really interesting. You see a lot of inspirations from Nier Automata and many other games, but it's his own identity. I love the character designs and the world itself, and I can't wait to get involved and see what the story has to tell, and also with his gameplay mechanics. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe button for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord, signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.